You know what's funny, man? When you're out of shape, right, and you get no chicks, you get no respect from men, you're skinny, you're overlooked, you have no muscle, you're overlooked, or you're fat and overlooked, women just tell you, oh, just be confident. Oh, you just need to start more conversations. Oh, it's all about personality. No one really cares about looks. They'll tell you all that goofy shit. And that same woman will chase the dude with looks, right? That same woman will be complaining about the dude with looks, right? A lot of you guys been friend zoned, and the woman's always calling you, talking about, guess what? The guy who's in shape, the Chad, the Tyrone that's in shape on their purpose, right? Because the reality is, the first part of attraction, all right, and I learned this the hard way because I've been on both sides of the body game, right? I've been skinny as shit, I've been fat, and I was overlooked both times. And the thing is, my personality didn't change. My results changed, but my personality didn't change. When I was young and I was in high school, got no bitches, got no prom date. I didn't even go to prom, right? Got no chicks. I was skinny as shit, right? I was doing the same shit I'm doing now. Reading, playing video games every once in a while, watching anime. I suck at video games, but I was still playing video games, watching anime. It's the same shit I do now. I watch anime, right? I read books. I used to read 25 books. I worked in the library, 25 books every summer at least. I worked in the library. I used to know all the book recommendations, shit like that. That's just the kind of person I am, right? And chicks used to be like, oh, you're a nerd. I'm now the same person, but since women are physically attracted to me, I'm not saying every woman, but the women who are physically attracted to me and who deal with me, they're always like, oh my God, I love that you read and I love that you do that. And I'm like, that's what you used to hate. You see what I'm saying? So when you get abs and you get the V taper, all of a sudden your personality gets better. When you're attracted physically, all of a sudden your personality gets better. Because the reality is, the initiation of attraction in general is physical. Like, that's what starts it. A girl's not gonna be attracted to your Peter Griffin stomach, all right? She's just not gonna be attracted to that shit, right? When she see those abs, she's gonna be like, oh my God, his abs. She's gonna be turned on by that shit. And a lot of you guys haven't experienced it, so a lot of shit I'm saying, you're like, no, you don't know what you're talking about. Bro, mind the situations I've gotten in where the chick is literally just like, oh my God, I want to see your abs, or let me see your abs, or this is that. And chicks will even message me or respond to my pictures and stuff, because I'm always taking pictures, posting on my Instagram. They'll respond to my pictures and they'll be like, oh my gosh, you look so sexy. I wish my boyfriend looked like this. Like, this is literally, let's talk about the conversation last week. The girl saying, oh, I wish my, and this seems like a weekly conversation. I don't know if this is some kind of like, it's just insane. It's like being in a relationship is a humiliation ritual. But, the past couple of weeks I've been having different girls in relationships. They're just like, oh my God, like I wish my boyfriend worked out and he looked like you. Like, oh my God, she's just not serious about the gym like you. You look so good. You look so hot. Like, I just got that over and over again, right? Because that's that physical attraction. And another thing is, when you're actually dealing with women and you are in shape, that means you respect yourself. Why is that important? Because how you treat yourself is how others treat you. So that means inherently she's gonna respect you too. Because a lot of times when women are kind of mad and they look at you and they're like, this nigga's fucking sitting on the couch and he's out of shape, he has a big ass stomach, they just get mad at you too. They're like, this motherfucker's not ambitious, he's not inspiring me. But when you're in shape and you're doing what you need to do, you're going to the gym, you're going to different events, you're working on your business, you're ambitious, because you just have more energy when you're lean. You just do. All right, when you're fat as shit, you just don't have energy. You sit down and do fat people shit. All right, literally, you eat cookies, you're just embarrassing. You have cookie crumbles on you and shit like that. Crumbles of cookies on you, or you eat crumble, same thing. Versus the person who's lean, they're locked in, they're meal prepping, they're disciplined. The woman's attracted to that, inspired by that, and she knows that, that's gonna lead you to a good place because you have that discipline, right? So she's gonna respect you more. So when a woman respects you more, all interactions are better, off rip. All your interactions with women are gonna be better. All right, now I'm not saying you're not gonna have any problems when you're in shape. You are gonna have problems, but you're not gonna have the same issues. You're not gonna have like the baseline respect issues initially that most out of shape guys have, right? Because I've talked to a lot of out of shape guys, skinny and overlooked, fat and overlooked, right? Fat and disrespected. I was fat and overlooked, fat and disrespected. Then I got, I started off skinny and disrespected as well. So I know how it is, how you're overlooked, how you're disrespected, and how women go out their way to disrespect you, right? Versus when you're in shape, all of a sudden you have the greatest personality and they like everything about you. You see what I'm saying? Like, I used to read books. They used to be like, you're nerdy. What the fuck? And now they're like, oh my God, I like that. I like that you read. It's so amazing. Like, wow. Like, I'm like, what the fuck? That's the same thing they used to hate. You see what I'm saying? So that physical is the initial part of attraction, because that's the genuine desire that you can't negotiate. Just like Rick Ross's girl, he broke up with this girl because she didn't want to kiss him in person. She wanted the bag. She wanted the lifestyle. She wanted the money, but she couldn't. She just couldn't get over that Peter Griffin belly that he has. And I keep telling a lot of you guys, because a lot of you guys have this Peter Griffin belly, right? And you guys are trying to, you act like, you act like looking like Goku doesn't fucking matter. But every time you play a video game, you pick Goku because he inspires you, right? And every time your girl's watching like Michael B. Jordan or some shit on TV, she's getting turned on. She's like, why don't you look like this? She'll tell you that shit. Why don't you look like this? You see what I'm saying? So that does play a factor. That's the initial part of attraction. The emotional, the personality, all that shit comes afterwards. But a woman's gonna like your personality more if you're fucking in shape. Like, who do you think a woman's gonna like more as far as just offer it? Chris Brown or fucking Rick Ross? All right, Chris Brown's in shape, he dances, right? And then Rick Ross fat as shit, right? They both have money, but people are gonna gravitate towards Chris Brown because he's in better shape than 95% of dudes. Let's just keep it a buck, all right? And then, like I said, attraction is like a lot of it is looks, but it isn't just looks, because when you get in shape, like I said, and you respect yourself, the world treats you how you treat yourself. So when you respect yourself, you emanate a certain energy and emanate a certain aura, right? That you just don't have when you disrespect yourself daily, right? Like natural confidence, I would say. I know a lot of you guys may not agree with this, but natural confidence is confiding in yourself, right? How do you confide in yourself? What does confiding in yourself mean? Confiding in yourself literally just means that you can trust yourself. That means if you say you're going to eat something, then you eat it. That says if you're not going to eat cookies, you don't eat cookies. That means if you say you're not going to eat milk chocolate, you don't eat milk chocolate. That means if you say you're going to eat your meal prep meals and not order Chick-fil-A, you do that. That's where confidence comes from. You don't just buy confidence. It doesn't come overnight. You can't get it on Amazon, right? That's why a lot of people lack it, all right? And when you have that discipline and you have that self-confidence, it just puts you it puts you on another level. You feel different, right? That's one thing. The other thing that changes is your energy towards, like, the value you place on others, and the value you place on yourself. Like, you're gonna place a lot of value on yourself. You're gonna realize how much value you have when you've been through that fitness journey, and you're also gonna realize that you're going to spend, like, when you're on your fitness journey, you're going to spend more time alone because you will have to say no to a lot of people. All right. You're going to have to say no to a lot of people, the drinking, the going out, the clubbing and all that stuff. You're going to have to say no to a lot of that. You may lose some friends, right? It's a lonely journey. So during that journey, you really do find yourself and you spend more time alone. So then you're comfortable spending time alone. And guess what happens? If you are dealing with someone you don't want to deal with, right? Like, and women will pick up on this very well. If you are dealing with someone you don't want to deal with, and they disrespect you or something like that, you're out the door. Like, and women have noticed that with me a lot. Like, that's the biggest difference between my simping days and when I really got on body game and just focused on myself. Like, when I focus on myself, I realized, like, okay, no one's paying rent for me. I got to go out there and fucking grind. Like, I got to fucking be consistent every single day. No one's doing that shit for me. And no one is eating the high protein for me. I have to hit my protein, right? Someone could tell me you need to hit protein, but I have to hit my protein. No one's telling me to do the workouts because, the same people aren't at the gym every day. No one's holding you accountable every day. You have to hold yourself accountable. Even if someone holds you accountable every day, you still have to do the work. If someone's like, hey, do squats, you still have to squat, right? So you start to become more self-sufficient, independent. So, like, if a woman's like, hey, if you don't go to Ruth Chris, then we can't see each other. I'm just gonna be like, okay, well, you're not. I mean, I'm just gonna ignore them, or I'm just gonna leave them on red because it's not that serious, right? Versus when you're not in shape and this is your only option, you're like, okay, well, which Chris, what do you want to eat? And you'll go for it, right? You don't have that abundance mindset because you haven't created value, you haven't made yourself a valuable person, so you don't have options in general, right? You don't have, and you're not comfortable being alone. Those two things, right? Another thing is how people treat you will be way different, right? So obviously, like, men are going to respect you more because, let's just be honest, even when men have a decent amount of muscle mass, most men are easily above 15% body fat, but definitely above 20% body fat, even at gyms and shit like that. And then if you're not at the gym, then most men don't even have any muscle in general. So when they see that you're 10% body fat with muscle, they're like, yo, what the fuck? This nigga's different. And they see you like that, you're around, they're going to ask questions. They're going to be inspired. It is what it is, right? You're going to be an inspiration because that means your mindset is stronger. That means your discipline's stronger, right? And that means you confide in yourself more, which means you have more self-confidence, all right? A lot of women, you're going to get a lot more choosing signals in public. It's going to be crazy, right? Obviously choosing signals online, which a lot of people don't really know about online game. That's going to be in the Patreon though. But you're going to get, like, obviously chicks liking pictures, chicks DMing you first. If you're on dating apps, they're going to fucking like your shit. They're going to DM you first because guess what? If you're lean with muscle on a dating app, you got a decent haircut, right? It is what it is. You're going to sweep that shit. You're going to sweep up all the chicks. It is what it is because you're just going to be ahead of everybody else. It is what it is. All right. Now, the thing is when before I got in shape, I always thought, I watched Disney Channel. We all watched Disney Channel. We wanted to go to prom. We wanted to get married. I had all these thoughts. I was like, yeah, I can't wait to get married and settle down. All women are innocent. They're all virgins until they're like 40. I don't know what the fuck I was thinking. I was an idiot, obviously. And once I got in shape, I started seeing like how overt women can be and how, sexual they can be in nature, and learning about how they fantasize and the fantasies that they do have. Because they would message me that shit when I dealt with them. They would tell me the shit, right? They would be very overt and straightforward with it. And a lot of guys don't know that because they don't see that side of women. Because guess what? They don't have body game. They're not attracted to women. They haven't dealt with women, so they don't know anything about women. So that's just that. I mean, it was very interesting. Like, I was like, dang, this is like, initially it'd be like, oh my gosh, this is so dark. Like, I can't believe they're saying shit like that. You know what I mean? Because they'll say some crazy ass shit I can't even say on YouTube, right? Like I'm talking about some really crazy shit I really can't say on YouTube, right? Like they'll say some crazy shit about their fantasies and what they want. And they'll just be like, hey, come over. Or chicks I've never met. I'd be like, oh, this chick looks kind of good. And she's like, hey, when you, I saw on your story that you said you're going to come to town. Can you fuck me or some shit like that? And I'm like, did I read that right? Like, that literally happens. Or, hey, come over, I'll cook for you, and then, we can get busy or something like that. These are like conversations, that I've had or whatever. And as a philanthropist, when someone asks like, hey, can you come over? I'm going to come over because I'm a giver. You know what I mean? But anyways, that's something that I didn't know when I was out of shape. I literally had no idea that was happening, right? And that's what a lot of dudes who are in shape are dealing with, and they just kind of been sweeping the floor, sweeping up all the chicks for a while. And people who don't get chicks, they're just like, okay, maybe I have to, court her and do this and do that. Because a lot of the times, the chicks that you be seeing at the club, that you be hitting up and stuff like that, you'll get her number and all that stuff. You'll buy her drinks, and she'll come home to me. But it's because I don't want anything serious, and she's physically attracted to me, and I'm not chasing her. You know what I mean? Because like I said, I'm not looking for anything, but she might be, physically, genuinely attracted to me. And the fact that I don't have that needy energy is another thing that'll attract her as well, right? And that's something you can't fake either. All the shit that I'm talking about, it really can't be faked. That's the issue. A lot of people watch videos, and that's another thing. Women can sense when you're being real, when you're a real one, when you're really locked in on your journey, when you're really on this body game shit, when you are ambitious 24/7, because you could only fake it if you fake it, you could fake it for a month max, and then you go back to your old habits. So when you're really locked in, you're outcome independent, that's attractive because you got the leverage in every situation, and it's usually a good sign that you're going to be successful if you're outcome independent and consistent and ambitious and in shape. That means you have a lot of discipline and you can face a lot of adversity. All right, simple. And another thing is, like, a lot of you guys have a misconception that you chase, like, attraction is something you could chase. Like, you can make a girl really, really want you, right? If she doesn't have any initial attraction at first, any initial genuine desire at first, you can't force her to like you. It's not happening. It's something you earn, not something you chase. All right? Because like I said, I was the same motherfucker. Guess what changed? My physique got better, which gave me a little bit more aura and a little bit more confidence. And then all of a sudden, women were attracted to that versus they weren't when I was a different person. So elevating yourself, working on yourself, that's why I always say work on yourself, because things will start to come. And you guys also have to realize, yes, sometimes women will reach out to you first and shit like that, depending on the situation. But majority of the interactions you'll have is going to be significant choosing signals. And if a woman's looking at you for 3 to 5 seconds or continually follows you around the gym, those are some big ass choosing signals in itself. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. But yeah, so a lot of people act like caring about your body is shallow or it's toxic or this is that. But at the same time, when I went to the gym today, you feel me, like the chicks, the women are quote unquote dressing for themselves. No, the fuck they're not, bro. If you're dressing for yourself, you wouldn't be wearing something that rides up your fucking ass every 5 seconds. That's uncomfortable. You see what I'm saying? So it is what it is. Like, the women put on makeup in the gym, not for other women, not for themselves. You know what I'm saying? So they can get that confidence boost when they walk by. And I'm like, hey, yo, is that a station wagon, nigga? Is that a nigga? What is that? You know what I'm saying? Like that. That's why they wear what they wear. You know what I'm saying? They want dudes looking at them, dudes approaching them and stuff like that. Because it is a confidence booster. There's nothing wrong with it. That's not shallow, in my opinion. That just means you're looking good and you're taking care of yourself. Cool. That's not a big deal, right? We act like that's shallow, but we are an appearance-based society and we judge regardless. You see what I'm saying? So it's the same thing as a man. Like, when you're in shape, guess what? When you got a good shoulder waist ratio, guess what? If you're like 6'8" and you're in shape, like that dude that be making the videos, guess what? You're gonna get more choosing signals than most people. All right. If you're 5'10", you're in shape. You're 5'8", you're in shape. 5'7", you in shape. 5'6", you in shape. 6 foot, you in shape. You're gonna get more choosing signals because most people just aren't in shape. Here's the thing: when I go to sleep tonight and wake up, there is going to be less people in shape than there was a year ago, right? There's going to be more fat people, more obese people than there were a year ago. Just go listen. Like I said, you can go to some gyms, you'll see some in shape people. You might see 10, but they stick in your brain so much that you're like, everybody's in shape. Oh my God, it's like 10 people. What is the world population? Is it 11 people? No, it's fucking 8 billion. You see what I'm saying? You might be in an area, you might be in New York where everyone's walking around, and there's a younger crowd. You'd be like, there's so many lean people here. There's like 20 million people in Metro New York, right? It's like, what is it, 15 to 20 million? So if you see 1,000 lean people, that's a very small percentage. But if you see 1,000 lean people in real life, it feels like a gajillion. You see what I'm saying? So that's the reality of it. So, like I said, man, getting in shape, like, it's not about attracting chicks, obviously. That's just a side effect of it. Because I was like, you know what? I need to get lean for my gut health, because my gut health was cooked. I was like, I need to get it for my confidence, because I always said I wanted to, be a superhero. But then, of course, I'm inspired by chicks. But I gave up. I legit gave up on chicks. I was like, yo, chicks just don't like me. There's something wrong with me. I'm like a glitch or something. And then I started getting attention from chicks, and I was like, what the fuck's going on, right? Choosing signals, chicks approach me, all that stuff. And it's literally because I got in shape. I took care of myself. And I really, really actually improved myself. I wasn't like, let me do 10 push-ups, to get a pump for this chick. No, I was like, let me lose this fat, lose the visceral fat, increase my gut, get better gut health, become who I said I would become, and increase my discipline for me. All right, stay locked in, fellas.